Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Hello or good evening, depending where you are. Look, listen, you all should be very thankful that me and Pete are here today. I could have been an astronaut. I could have been a lawyer. I could have been a lot of things, but I chose to be here with you guys to watch Camp Cupcake. And Pete could have been like the new Brad Pitt, but he chose to be here watching Camp Cupcake with you guys.
I'm excited, man. I've been a lifelong Brian White truther, and I think now he's going to finally prove to all the Euro snobs out there why he is the number 9, the best number 9 that we have. The best.
He might become a Camp Cupcake legend because he got called in last year out of nowhere. Brian Wright keeps getting called in these Camp Cupcakes. And looking at the projections for next year, if we continue to have the Camp Cupcake with the same intent of like not having an intent, Brian White will probably be there again. And maybe
especially because as anybody becomes really good in MLS, they end up leaving, so they're no longer eligible for Camp Cupcake.
Is my mic bad?
Some people are saying it might be your laptop mic. It sounds a little tin canny. Is your mic like actually plugged in?
Yeah, looks like it. Hold on.
I mean, it doesn't sound terrible. We still understand you, but
is it still weird?
There we go. There we go.
Boom. We're back.
Turn it up a little bit.
Hello. Better?
Yeah, better.
Hello? Yeah.
Better.
So, okay, we're back. We're back with a good mic. Yeah, we could have all been doing a lot of things, man. I could have been on the moon right now, but I'm choosing to be here watching Camp Cupcake. I was on tryouts to go to the moon.
You'd be working for Elon right now.
Yeah, I don't trust him with the whole Mars thing, but I could have gone to the moon.
Like Tax, like we're gonna send you to Mars first to check it out. Tax, like no thanks.
I would have been like the second or third person from planet Earth to go to the moon, only behind like Chewbacca and Han Solo. Only behind those two.
Careful, you're wading into John Tolkien territory.
Oh my god! I mean, Chewbacca
might have to apologize to German supporters for liking a tweet.
I'm pretty sure Chewbacca and Han Solo actually went to the moon. Like
it seems that way.
I literally saw it in a movie. They definitely did. But look, everyone, the lineup is out. We're gonna try to have fun with this today.
Yeah,
we're gonna try to have fun with it today. We're not going to be very complimentary of this because there's not really much to be complimentary of. Kind of happy that Luna's going to get a shot here for whatever it's worth against this opponent. But at the end of the day, you look at this roster, like Zach Steffen, he just wasn't good last year for the most part. Outside, I think of the
hasn't been good in years.
Yeah, that's one. I don't know if this is true, but it looks like we're going to go with Ream and Zimmerman as the center backs and Miles as the right back. Now, like Ream, Zimmerman, Miles, whatever you think of them, if you think like, no, they can be in the roster or we need to give them a shot or whatever you think of them, everyone keeps telling me this camp's about testing new guys. These are not new guys. We know what they can do and what they can't do. So we're going to be watching Ream, Zimmerman, and Miles play again for whatever reason. I don't know what I'm going to learn from that, but cool. Dejuan Jones is there on the left back. Dejuan Jones always comes out to me as one of those fullbacks that's like, very useful when we bring a B team to a Gold Cup. That's like what I think.
Might be stretching the word useful a little bit, but I guess capable enough might be a better way to put it. But yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling very kind today. So
yeah,
I would call even myself useful if I was in this roster right now.
Yeah.
And then we have the double pivot there with Ben Kramaski, which. Look, he's very young, so I never want to discount a young player. They can develop, they can get better. But Ben Kramaski, to me, every time I've watched him, he looked like a much worse version of like Brendan Aronson, for example. So very hard worker, in great shape, athletic, but just like nothing really happens with the ball on his feet.
I would say not special.
Yeah, probably like that. I would say he has the potential to be a very good MLS player, in my opinion. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. And to be honest, he's still at the U20 level. Like that's, in my opinion, he could still be a very valuable piece for the under-20s because he has a lot of pro experience for his age. So I'm hopeful that he can stay with the U20s for the rest of this cycle and go to the under-20 World Cup because I think that's sort of the level he should be at right now.
Yeah, and to be fair, also, based on what me and Pete have been preaching about this camp, Ben Kramaski would be a good call-up because he is a U22 player. He would be a player that I would say he want to be there. Now you got also Inelli from Real Salt Lake in the double pivot, a player that's 25 and had.
But can I just say, oh, sorry, finish your thought.
I was just going to say he finally had like a breakout season, I guess, and there were fans comparing him to Tyler Adams. It's like,
hey, Tyler Adams needs to watch his back, man. Like these back-to-back performances against Newcastle and Chelsea that were actually quite good. And Johnny, too. And Emelli has a good game today. I mean, he's right up there in the discussion with should we bench Tyler Adams. I'm just, I think, right? Because he's fast and he runs and
he walks too.
He walks athletic.
He can walk when you have to walk.
He could probably yell "fuck you" if you told him to. You know what I mean? Like if that was Tyler Adams, one of his main jobs, then I think Emelli could probably. I mean, it's not that hard, right? You just yell that. So I think Tyler Adams should be watching this game, like kind of shitting himself a little bit because Emelli could surpass him with a good performance today.
Even though this game is at like 2 a.m. in England.
I mean, if I'm Tyler, I'm up watching, like quaking in my boots, so.
Exactly. Especially after some Twitter tacticals right there said that Inelli at age 25 breaking through. And again, you can't use anomalies as the norm. Like someone will go, yeah, but Jamie Vardy broke through when he was 25 or 26. Like, okay, how many more? Like it's not the normal. Like normally good players, people catch on to them early on when they're 19, 20, 21, 22 usually at best. And then of course, you have a few guys that come through later. Conte was a good one too. He came, I think it was 24, a little bit later, but that's very rare. Giroud was another one. It seems like they love to do that with French players, but
it's also even those players, they had a certain profile that you think, wow, maybe one day they could be something, right? So you also have to look a little bit at player profile and see, do they even have the technical capacity to potentially break out at a high level one day, right?
Yeah, which I haven't seen from them so far. Now, Indiana Vasilev, this is not 2018. I don't know what he's doing here. But I guess today we're going to pretend like it's 2018. Indiana Vasilev is still starting here for the United States. Brian Gutierrez on the left wing. Again, based on what me and Pete have been preaching for this camp, Brian Gutierrez is a good call-up. And the same for Diego Luna. These are prospects that can still improve, that there's something there, there's some potential. I don't think they will ever be USMNT A-team regulars, but these are the players you should most likely be bringing into this camp. And then up top, we have Brian White, which congratulations to him, man. I don't know. He's been getting USMNT call-ups every year. Like last year, got it this year.
It never gets out of January, right? That's it's always January, but every year you're guaranteed a call-up. It's fun.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the type of guy that when you watch him play, it's like that guy that married that beautiful woman out of his league, and you're just like, how?
I have a question for you though. If he scores today, whether it's a tap-in, whether it's a solo goal, whether it's a golazzo, whether it bounces off his head, Zardes style. If he scores today, should he be in the discussion with Pepe and Balogun to fight for a starting 9? Because it's not just today. He also scores goals for Vancouver, right? So that's 2 different places he's scoring goals. And who knows, maybe he also plays in a 6-a-side tournament under a different name and scores goals. That's 3 places now that he scores goals. Should we have that discussion?
You know what? There's going to be people on Twitter, because Twitter and Reddit, right? Especially Reddit. Reddit is bad. That's full of nasty people on Reddit.
Apparently they banned Twitter links on the USMNT subreddit.
Okay. Good for Reddit. So the Reddit people are interesting. I wouldn't go as far as calling them great people. I'll go as far as calling them crazy people, but that's mainly what they are. Very passionate fans, probably with the passion at the wrong place at the wrong time, but very passionate fans. Look, jokes aside, my personal opinion, any goal today, and I know some people are going to hate on this, but it's irrelevant.
How can you say that?
I think that these are the games where the minimum expectation is to stand out. And if you stand out, maybe we can keep track of you still, and that's how it should be looked. I'll give you an example. Me and Pete have a tournament that we're gonna be announcing this soon, and I'm building a soccer team. And yesterday I brought a kid for a tryout that I wanted to watch carefully, but I couldn't get an actual tryout. So I brought the kid to play a very competitive pickup game. The standard that I placed for this kid to make the team was that in this pickup game, despite being a very competitive pickup game, these guys are not in the best shape. They're pickup players. I said, this kid has to really stand out. And if he stands out, I can have him on the team. Now, this is the thing with this performance here, with this team specifically. You judge more a poor performance than a good performance.
Yes.
That's
For example,
what it is.
Miles in the last game. Awful.
Yeah, but apparently, maybe it was so bad that Pochettino's like, you're not a center back, man. You're a right back.
Pochettino loves Miles for some reason, huh?
He really does. He really does. Can Miles speak Spanish?
I don't know. I doubt it.
Is he 20% Argentinian? I also doubt it.
That's what we should look for, right?
I doubt it, man. I know Argentina. They do not like Miles Robinson. They don't like me either. So, I doubt it, man. Knowing Argentina, there's a lot of players here they don't like. Just look at their national team and you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, we're going to try to enjoy this game. It's here in Orlando. It's actually extremely cold here today, believe it or not.
Yeah, you guys got snow, right?
There was snow in Pensacola and Destin, which is a bit north of Florida. But yeah, we got snow in Florida, and it was really like it's probably like 30 something right now. Which for Orlando, it's not, doesn't happen.
Beautiful,
man.
74 degrees here in Los Angeles. I mean, we're dying from fire, but the weather's great.
Yeah, we got that going, but it's really freaking cold here today. And before anyone makes fun of us saying, oh, where I live, it's 5 degrees. It's one. Guys, understand, we're not used to 30 degrees here. We don't have clothes for that. Well, our bodies are not. If you are at 8 degrees Fahrenheit right now, you're probably used to it by now. When I lived in New York, I was fine with 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I was fine with 30 degrees. But once you move here and it's freaking 60 degrees or higher the entire year, once it goes to 30, it's horrible. Okay.
Question.
So,
do you have heaters in the houses there or not?
no, we do. Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. But like I worked outside today and it was horrible.
Oh, yeah. You were coaching today, no?
Yeah. Outside. It was horrible. But I'm here. I'm alive. And I'm watching here also the game. There's approximately the same amount of people in this live chat in the stadium.
Are you ahead of me now? I'm on Max. Are you on Peacock?
I'm on Peacock. Tim Ream is like exchanging the
coffee ad.
Yeah, and everyone, I forgot to say this. If you haven't already, drop a like in the stream. I didn't ask, so every time I don't ask, you guys don't do it. It should be like just like muscle memory at this point. Just muscle memory. Just hit the like button, super quick and free. If you can, kindly do so. And after the game, we're gonna go to 11 Yanks for the post game, and it's probably gonna be more or less like last time, but just like trying to have fun with this a little bit, but don't expect it to be 1 hour long. There's not an hour stuff to talk about here.
Yeah, the post game we're going to keep relatively short.
Piojo, Miguel Ejera's here.
That might be the most entertaining part of the game for me. Is just, can we get a camera on him on the touchline?
Just have one on the side here of the cameras. We just keep watching.
Yeah,
guys, I'm not doing a shirtless stream. It's too cold. It's too cold. My nipples would get hard. So no, I'm not doing a shirtless stream. Not happening.
No snow in Orlando though, huh?
No, thank goodness. But I mean, it's supposed to get colder as the week goes by, all the way till Saturday. Saturday's going to be below 30, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at least like it's going to be like 32 or something, but it'll feel like something because of the humidity. Will it be the first time in history that it snows in Orlando? Like at least modern history?
I don't know. Not sure.
Okay, you guys are getting very weird there in the chat, and Spicy Jeff is not even here, which is a bit
I know. This is like prime Spicy Jeff territory.
Yeah, this is where he shines. This is like the it's like playing Gio Reyna at the 10, a 4-2-3-1. This is Spicy Jeff slides right in. Oh, they talked about this. Pete and Tack, is Apple pulling funds from MLS? The main MLS podcast got canceled. I don't think Apple is pulling funds from MLS. I just think no one was really listening to that podcast to justify the cost of having Weeby, Doyle, the production team. You got to keep in mind, like, me and Pete keep it low budget, but these guys, they can't do anything low budget.
No.
So
they have to justify a lot of people listening, and it may not be justifiable. I have a feeling, of course, we don't know their numbers, but I don't think they would have stopped the podcast if it was doing really well, right?
No. Yeah, I think like the thing is there's definitely people that like the podcast, but the fact of the matter is, if it was doing well, it would not have gotten canceled. Even especially because like guys like Andrew Eby, Doyle, these are not the most expensive podcasters in the world that you have to cut cost.
Yeah,
it just probably had horrendous numbers. Let's be honest. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember. They tried to do live watch-alongs against our channel during World Cup qualifying.
Yeah,
and we would have like 1,000 people, 1,500. You know, guys, the regular numbers we get 1,500, sometimes 2,000, and they would be stuck at like 100. So people just weren't listening. Weren't watching. That's the truth. And you might say, "Oh, but I listened to it." It might be you and like another 20 people. It might be you and a futsal team. That's it.
But I think they used to be more popular. But I think during the Berhalter era, there was a lot of like Greg Berhalter worship happening. And so I think that turned off a lot of Berhalter and MLS worship happening. And so I think that might have turned off some of the fan base.
Yeah, I don't think it's like Apple cutting funds, because the funds to keep that podcast is probably nothing for Apple. It's not really Apple. It's just, I also think
it wasn't on Apple. It was on their, like, they had it on their website.
And the YouTube channel, I think they would put there sometimes. So yeah, it was MLS. Dude, probably just the numbers were so bad. They were just like, it doesn't justify spending a single dime on this. So and they're saying, Moise is saying, Tack, last week I got PTSD triggered of more, like in a Copa America versus Uruguay. Your reaction was hilarious. Oh my God, my life Moore's about to... Oh yeah, he was subbed in against Uruguay?
He was subbed in against Uruguay, remember? That was Berhalter's big solution.
Oh, so I forgot about that. So your job's on the line, you're down against Uruguay, and you're going to get fired if you lose, probably get fired, and you're like, hold my beer. Shaq Moore, save my job. That's what he was thinking? That's what he was thinking?
Surprise, surprise. It didn't work, huh?
You know what's crazy? It's like, I know when time goes by, people forget and we stop talking about it. And we should, because at some point we got to forget that bald man. But every time you think about it and you try to remember small details and little things that happen, it just reminds you of how bad he is, and how actually, no matter how much we say, it just doesn't really... It's almost like when you go to this place and it's a beautiful place and you take a picture, and when you bring the picture back home for everyone to see, you're like, you know, the picture doesn't really show the beauty of this place.
Yeah.
No matter how much we talk about Berhalter, it doesn't show how bad he actually is.
I think if I remember correctly now, though, he didn't sub him on. He tried to sub. Scally got injured, and he tried to sub on Moore, and then Scally saw Moore getting ready, and he was like, "No, I'm fine. Trust me, I'll stay." I think that's what happened, actually.
He's like, USMNT fans don't deserve this.
He's like, no.
I'll play with the torn ACL. I'll play with the torn ACL.
He's like, I might still be better.
Julian View is saying, what do you guys think of Beavers going to Bromby? So Gavin Beavers, the young goalkeeper, going to Bromby. I don't really think anything about that. We'll just keep track of it.
Seems like you're almost better off staying in MLS, but unless he felt like maybe he wasn't going to start because they have Zach McMath, who was like, but they kind of shared minutes at Salt Lake last year. But I mean, I always am in favor of a player pushing himself. Now, level-wise, it might not really be pushing himself because it's the Danish league. But in terms of a different culture and a different soccer environment and playing in an environment that actually has stakes, in that sense, it is pushing himself. It's just hard to know how it's going to work out with some of these moves. It seems like, at best, a lateral move, right?
Yeah, it's not really something that gets us excited. It's like,
no,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. We've had players go, like Christian Kappas went there to Bromby, and that didn't really...
I mean, honestly, if that's your level, I don't know. Although he's still a U20 keeper, so there's a lot of time left for him to develop, you know?
Mm-hmm. There was also what I was... Oh, they're saying, We'll stop slandering Berhalter when the mainstream media stops slandering Jurgen Klinsmann. Yeah, they're never going to stop slandering Jurgen. I mean, look, to be fair, there is a lot to criticize of Jurgen too. But the main reason they hate Jurgen was that he was actually very outspoken and critical of MLS and how the players had to push themselves in better leagues. He was what they would call Euro snob. So yeah, there's a lot to criticize Jurgen, but they hate him for the wrong reasons.
But think about it. If Berhalter had gotten out of the group of death at the World Cup and made it to a Copa America semifinal, can you imagine the MSM worship? Like, it didn't matter what else he did. They would have worshipped the ground he walked on.
The dude, a domestic violence case came out of the dude, and they just completely ignored it.
Oh, yeah. No, they attacked the teenager instead.
Exactly.
It had nothing to do with it.
It's just that mainstream media like picks and chooses like who they want to attack or who they want to cancel. That's how they're going to go about it. So if it was a domestic violence case from Jurgen Klinsmann in the 1970s or something, it's like, fire the Germans, send him back to Berlin, deport him. He can't be here anymore. But because it was Berhalter, they were just okay with it.
Yeah.
That's what they just pick and choose what it is. Like Bruce Arena just now, what was he canceled for again? Like they kicked him out of New England.
Oh, apparently he said something in the locker room. Did Anelli almost give the? Oh my god! Come on, Luna, do something.
Apparently he said something, and Bruce Arena was almost like banned from soccer.
Like his assistant coach or like tattle on him or something because he wanted the job, and then he ended up not getting the job. Sounds like some real beta boy shit going on over there.
Yeah, but he was like almost like banned from U.S. soccer from it. People were talking about it as if he was like this.
Which, if he had actually done something really bad, I don't think they would let him coach San Jose now, right?
Exactly.
Like if he had said something that was truly awful or racist or like, really, truly awful, I don't think MLS would let him coach San Jose right now because they're quite, I think he probably said something that was at worst ill-advised, and his assistant coach tattled on him.
I will put it one way. He is 73, and that's like grandfather age. And at that age, people let it slip. They'll say racist shit here and there. They'll say something homophobic. Like at that age, they let it slip. That could have happened.
It's possible. We don't know what happened. I'm sure we'll never know. There's probably all kinds of like clauses and, non-disclosure agreements that were signed. Who knows, man? But
here's the question. It's just one of those where I go back to like, regardless of what he said, it's probably not worse than kicking a woman.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. No. Who was that?
Good 1-2, and then a weird-ass shot from...
Oh, it was Vasilev.
Vasilev? Yeah. You know what I always wondered about this camp, too? And I don't know if anyone in the chat wants to jump in. This is actually a fun little brain exercise here to do. Think about this. What do you think the players in camp think? Do they think they're like, yes, I'm a USMNT player? Or they're just like, oh, no, the camp that everyone makes fun of? What do you think they think of?
I don't know. I think they just think maybe if I perform really well, Poch will like me. I mean, that's all you can do, right? If you get that opportunity, you have to try to impress, right? Like,
well, they could also be there for the money. They get paid, so.
That is true. That is true.
And it's good money for the amount of work.
For some of them, too, if they go to their club and say, hey, I'm a USMNT player, I've got like 6 caps or whatever. It doesn't always register that like USMNT player has a major asterisk around it now. You know what I mean? Like sometimes just calling yourself a USMNT player, getting call-ups can increase your value and potential earning power.
And as Maloney say, are y'all actually watching the game? Yeah, we're watching here the game. It's just there's literally nothing to talk about in the game. There was like a really horrible shot from Indiana Vasilev, and then like passes one way and another, not much more. We're watching the game. I have it here on the iPad, but it's just, I don't know. Like, is there anything that we missed in the game so far? I didn't.
No, it's been very back and forth, kind of scrappy.
Yeah, there's just like nothing to talk about. There's just a general lack of quality for both teams. That's the truth. Like, this is also a national team, Costa Rica national team, with players that play in the Costa Rican league, which is way worse than MLS. So
again, both the Venezuelan and Costa Rican leagues are way worse than MLS.
Yeah. So again, it's not really.
Wait, did we just say something about MLS good? I thought we hated it. Man, I wonder if Rocco's
I
checks
mean, I
were
don't know
there.
if saying it's better than the Costa Rican league is good. I would call it just kind of like
But if we
saying
truly
things.
hated it, we might find a way to say that Costa Rican league is better. You know, because
Yeah.
of those Rocco checks, Tack. We gotta make sure we earn those checks.
That would be like a whole new level of hating, though. That would be like world-class hating.
That would be fun.
Like us trying to explain why MLS is worse than the Costa Rican league. That would be some.
That would be some Matt Doyle level propaganda for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna really convince it. And then now Costa Rica just had a decent moment here. It got blocked, and then who passed that back? Who's number 8? Oh, Brian White gave that horrible pass back.
Oh, Ben Kremaski tackled, foul.
Yeah. 11 minutes, and it's actually kind of funny if these players struggle against, guys that are from the Costa Rican league. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Some of them already are. I think Gutierrez is one of the players that needs Luna too. Luna needs to have a good game today, a really good game, because that was a nice little layoff there. Decent ball from Kremaski. Guti, can he get onto that? Guti, you got to be stronger there.
I actually think that's more like the Kremaski pass. It's just one of those forced passes that players do. It's not really like it was never going to work. It was never going to work. The way to set up
worked fine.
Kremaski?
No, the one from Luna to Kremaski.
Oh no, Luna was fine. I meant the Kremaski ball. No, Luna was good. Kremaski was just a forced pass that was never going to get there.
Well, Kremaski's pass had too much diagonal on it, so it was going away from goal.
Matt Poliquin is saying, F it, even though I already cursed in the stream, so I don't think that matters. I'm drunk. Here's some money. Day one viewer. Don't care about this game. Just here for the stream. Love the content, fellas. Look, it's me and you both. Like, me and Pete forgot this game was happening today, so I had to drive back from I was coming from Orlando to Tampa, and I had to drive back quickly because I was like, oh crap, there's a game.
Yeah. Come on, Luna. Guti. Oh, Guti. Come on, Guti.
That was
gotta finish that, or at least put it on frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Guti.
West G's like, you live in Tampa now, Tag? Yeah, at least until probably the summer. I'll be in Tampa. Then I'll head back to Orlando. It's temporary. I'll be back to Orlando. But I was going to stay in Orlando for a bit longer. And then I was like, oh, well, we got a game.
All right. I'll be in now, Tack. I'll see you at halftime, probably.
See you soon. See you soon. And the funny part about this, too, is, I mean, I was in Orlando at like 5 p.m. I could have gone to this game, but I just don't see the point. Just don't see the point. Yeah, like American Auto Transport is saying you should have driven from Tampa to Orlando. I was in Orlando at 5 p.m. I was in Orlando today all day. So I could have gone to the game. I just don't want to go. And it's cold as shit here too. Surprisingly cold. Like it's a game that I don't really wanted to watch at like a 35 to 40 degree weather. It's too cold. I'm also not willing to spend money and support this. I'm not willing to support this camp until they make it like what it should be, a youth camp. I don't support this. I'm not paying money to go watch Inelli play or Brian White. I refuse to do that. Which, by the way, people talked about this Inelli. This guy does not look good at all. Surprisingly. Hey, what happened to the score? Did FootMob just remove it? What happened here? The score's not even... FootMob even removed the score. What's going on? They just gave up on the game, FootMob. They just quit it. the website I'm using just kind of quit the game. They were showing the score and the time, and they're just like, don't care anymore. Don't care about this anymore. Well, this is a good one from Jesus Galvan saying, I'm concerned about Pochettino not recruiting dual nationals like Nathaniel Brown. I mean, look, between Pochettino being here in this camp right now and recruiting Henry Chase, Nathaniel Brown, whatever dual nationals we need and we have, it's probably better to recruit the dual nationals. Because at least you'll get one good player out of it. We're not getting shit out of these camps. Okay, here comes Brian Gutierrez down the left to Diego Luna. And he just got, oh my goodness. They just bodied the living crap out of Diego Luna. Oh, boy. Don't do that to him, man. That was nasty. Does bro hate Inelli or SMTH? Who the heck is SMTH? Who's SMTH? Is it Smith? There's no Smith on the field as far as I know. Oh, it means something? Does the bro hate Inelli or something? No, I don't hate Inelli. I actually just don't think he should be playing for the national team. That's all. Joey saying, speaking of Bruce Arena, Piojo here freaking punched a reporter and still got a job in Mexico. Yeah, Piojo's an interesting one. He goes a little bit too crazy, too far sometimes. He was a very big character in the 2014 World Cup, if you guys remember Piojo. In the group stage, in the knockout round, when Mexico got knocked out in the round of 16, Piojo was something else. Oh, my goodness, like Diego Luna's nose is broken. That looked nasty. Did someone elbow him? It was bleeding a lot. That sucks. Yeah, but no, I don't hate Inelli. I just don't think he should be playing for the U.S. men's national team unless he got a lot better. Yeah, Diego Luna's nose. I am no doctor, but that nose definitely looked broken. It looked broken. That's my diagnosis right there. Even though I could have been a doctor, but I chose to be here on YouTube. But I definitely could have been a doctor. I would have been a really good doctor. I would have been one of the best doctors in the U.S., but I chose to be on YouTube instead. Okay, Zach Steffen gets the ball. 18 minutes. Yeah, Diego Luna's nose. Oh, my goodness. I think they put a tampon on his nose. Is that a tampon? I think it is. Okay, United States with the ball. Brian White. Tripping all over the ball, all over the place. The ball's on fire. The floor is lava. Everything's going wrong for Brian White here. Nothing's working. Tim Ream. And Miles Robinson is playing as a right back, but it looks more like a back three in possession. But yeah, Miles is playing as a right back. Might as well have played Shaq more. Let's see. Let's see if I didn't miss. Sorry, I didn't look at the chat for a bit. See if I didn't miss some of the checks. I was looking at the game. Tack chose to be a tactical engineer. Yeah, man, I could have been making a building in New York City or something. Or a new rocket. Okay, Zach Steffen with the ball. Tries a horrible pass from Zach Steffen, and he wasn't really even under that much pressure. He had some time there. And then Zach Steffen just gave it back to the Costa Rican game. Dude, this is not charity. They just keep giving back to people for free. They just gave it back to the Costa Rican player. Diego Luna. No option. Oh, good ball from Luna. Good ball from Luna. And Indiana Vasilev scores. No, Brian White. Brian White, USMNT January camp legend. great pass from Diego Luna. That's probably what we should be praising right there. Great ball from Diego Luna. I want to watch the replay here. Brian White, USMNT Camp Cupcake legend Brian White scores. Okay, he gave the U.S. men's national team the lead versus Costa Rica. Okay, I need a tweet, guys. Hold on. I need a tweet. I have to multitask here. So 1-0 for the good guys. 1-0 for the good guys. 1-0 for the good guys. All right, 1-0 for the good guys here. You still call tweeting on X? Yeah, I mean, I still call it Twitter. I look, Elon can do whatever he wants. He bought that thing, right? Unfortunately, you can do whatever you want. But the name X is kind of dumb for a social media platform, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. It's okay if you want to name it something else, but X is kind of a dumb name. So I'm gonna continue to call it mostly like Twitter. It's just what it is. It's Twitter. Yeah, you guys are right. Like X just sounds like an app for corn. Yeah, I can't say the P word here because I can get like demonetized for the video. Yeah, so yeah, but you guys know what I'm saying. X just sounds like it's a corn website. Hey, USMNT Camp Cupcake legend.
Brian White is inevitable. I think Pepe should be feeling very nervous right now. That was a world-class finish. And, you know, it's like the solution, really. The solution. Remember Berhalter used to call substitute solutions? Well, I don't think he should just be a substitute solution. I think he should be a starter solution.
Brian White, USMNT Camp Cupcake legend. I mean, but we could praise one thing. Diego Luna, when he's getting the ball, he's looking good. It was a good pass, too.
It was a good pass. His 2 passes since then have not been good.
No.
But that was a good pass.
I'm gonna put here Greenman1694. He said Brian White is like the meme poster boy for the Camp Cupcake, whatever shit. Like forever, he's gonna be the guy. Every Camp Cupcake, we need Brian White there. We need him there.
Sort of like whenever we play Trinidad and Tobago, we should just bring in Jesus Ferreira.
Might as well, yeah. Let him stat that. Innate saying, Tack, I want to thank you. You got me into watching soccer about a year ago, and now we're stuck watching this. Oh, thank you, Nate. Actually, thank you. This is what me and Pete keep saying. That's what we like to hear, that we played some type of role of helping some people get into soccer. Now, Nate, if you don't mind, don't need to send a super chat. Just write on the regular chat. How did me and Pete or the channel, whatever, how did we get you into soccer? Were you already a soccer fan and then you found the channel and you got more into it? Did you never watch soccer and you randomly ran across our channels? I'm just curious.
Too.
S27, Brian White has more goals than Sargent since 2019 for the U.S. men's national.
It's probably Premier League level. Premier League. If you can score more goals than Josh Sargent for the USMNT, who's a championship striker, probably Premier League transfer incoming for Brian White.
Let me actually see how Brian White is doing in MLS, man. One of those guys that I don't have time to track. But he's 28, so
this is his prime. This is his prime.
He's playing for Vancouver for the Whitecaps. Okay. Let's see this guy's stats here. They're saying Jeff got them into soccer. Jeff? Spicy Jeff?
Jeff plays a role, an inadvertent role.
I would not want to know what role is that, but Greenman, there it is. He said Brian White is the meme poster boy for Camp Cupcake. We won't forget that. Jason Davis got you into soccer in 1988.
Was Jason Davis even alive in 1988?
Well, alive he definitely was, dude. Like,
And he was like 3. How old is Jason Davis? Oh no, Brian White almost scored again. Cleared off the line.
I mean, Jason
Oh.
Davis got to be pushing 50s, no?
Isn't he like mid 40s?
He looks like he's in his 50s.
I've got to know, what platform was that on, Placata?
Yeah, can someone find out how old Jason Davis is? I thought he was like 40 or 50.
If he was 1988 was a long time ago. Are you sure you didn't mean 1998? That would be my guess. Maybe you meant 1998. Because he's older, but he's not that old.
I'm going to look up his LinkedIn and see when he graduated in high school. I don't know. It seems like he started working with soccer in 2008. So I don't know how he got like 1988. This guy might actually not be. Oh my God, there's like a Alexi Lalas' LinkedIn. He has a LinkedIn. I don't have a LinkedIn.
Luna just set up another good chance for Vasilev. I'm not Vasilev, for Brian White, and he shot it and it came off the keeper. No, Vasilev missed the actual ball. I think it was, Pete, Brian White hit off the keeper and then Vasilev missed it.
Pete, I just found Alexi Lalas' LinkedIn. Do I look like I care about this game?
What does it say? Anything interesting?
Want me to show it?
Sure.
Yeah, let's look at Alexi Lalas' LinkedIn. It's more interesting than the game. So he has a very pixelated American flag as his cover. I don't know why he wouldn't pick a better one. It reminds me of when remember when Trump posted a pixelated American flag? Just out of nowhere, just like he got the first one he found on Google and just posted it on Twitter. That's what it looks like right there with Alexi. Just posted a pixelated American flag. Says he's a broadcaster at Fox. He was a freelance songwriter in 1980.
Yeah, he did write.
How old is this guy?
Dude, this guy had almost had a music career. He tried to have a movie career. I think he was in some movie with the Olsen twins that like flopped really bad. And then after all that failed, he became the LA Galaxy GM and then got fired for that and then sort of failed upward into Fox.
Yeah, that was he landed a very nice, comfy job there. President and general manager of the Galaxy. President and general manager of the New York Red Bulls. I was hoping we would find something freaky on his LinkedIn.
No, it's his LinkedIn. It's not going to be anything interesting.
No, that wasn't very fun. Elon Musk will buy Tactical Manager TV just to fire Filippo. Dude, he offers me $10 million. Be my guest. Buy it and fire me. Buy it and fire me. Not going to lie. The stadium has more people than I expected. I know it's a very low bar, but it is more than I expected. Does Spicy Jeff have a LinkedIn? I don't want to look that up. Imagine.
All right. I'll see you at halftime, Tech.
See you soon. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Christopher Park, what do you guys think of Maloney's move to Mainz? So, Christopher, in regards to Leonard Maloney, he wasn't going to renew his contract with Heidenheim. So they wanted to sell him, and they sold him. Getting sleepy here, even though I'm drinking coffee. So they sold him for like €1 million. Mainz is theoretically, and the position that they are currently in the Bundesliga, a better team than Heidenheim. I mean, I'm happy that he's staying in the Bundesliga. He doesn't really get many opportunities with the U.S. men's national team, and he probably should. But again, I don't know what to think about it. I don't know. Let's see if he's gonna, because for Heidenheim, he was a consistent starter. For Mainz, we don't know if he's gonna be, and we want him playing as much as possible in the Bundesliga. So he goes to a better team, but it doesn't mean he'll get the same amount of minutes. It's a wait and see. It's a wait and see. Brazilian Fury saying, "Yeah, shouldn't need luck for this one, but I'm wishing it." We always need luck, man. We always need luck. N1BBL3 saying, haven't checked X. How is the Santi Jimenez glazing? Yeah, I heard he scored, I think, against Bayern, or he scored in the Champions League. I didn't watch it. I'm not following many of it on Twitter because I told you guys, I was in Orlando, and then I was on Twitter, and I saw that we had a game today, and I forgot about it. I mean, I knew we had a game, but I forgot we had a game. So I had to drive not too quick, right? I don't want to get in trouble with the cops. I drove like how would I put it? Like carefully fast to get back home, which means I didn't really check X, and I didn't check what Santi Jimenez did. I don't know. Is Santi Jimenez the best striker in CONCACAF? No. Jonathan David is better than Santi Jimenez. Raul Jimenez is better than Santi Jimenez. He's not even the best Mexican striker. Raul Jimenez is better than Santi Jimenez. And I would hope most Mexico fans, L3 fans, would agree with me. I would hope so. Hey, they're saying I saw Tax speeding the other day. Dangerous guy. That is not true. That is not true. I don't speed. You shouldn't speed. I mean, look, if you're going 72 on a highway, that's fine. I mean, we all end up going a bit more, but we shouldn't. Oh, my insurance company isn't on the street. I wasn't speeding. When I say that I was going carefully fast, it means I was right at the speed limit. That's what I'm saying. Because if I'm not going carefully fast, then I go slow. I drive like my grandma. I drive like my grandma. Very, very slow on the I-4 here. You know, that I-4 just crosses through Orlando all the way to Tampa. And yeah. Yeah, I would do this. Drive 50 in a 70 lane. I piss everyone off on the left lane, right? And everyone has to just move. Okay. Long ball from someone, and the Costa Rican goalkeeper comes off his line. No goal. Still 1-0. 1-0 for the US. 33 minutes. I'm just kind of working my way through this game. Hey, by the way, did you guys know that me and Dustin started a channel in English covering Brazil? Who in the chat knows about that? We started a channel in English covering Brazil, if you're interested. What was it again? We're obviously not going to upload much there because Tactical Manager TV takes most of our time. And mainly the games I watch are most of the Americans. But we're going to be doing one video per month there, more as a hobby. And if it grows, it grows. I mean, it's looking good. The last video got like 18,000 views somehow. Somehow it got 18,000 views, which was like the third video we uploaded. But yeah, we started a channel. I put it on screen there. It's called Chappelle Football. I can put the link on the chat. I can put it in the chat. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Chappelle Football. So you guys can go check it out if you want to. If you don't like Brazilian soccer, then no need to go check it out. It's only if you want to. But we started doing it. I'm putting it there, and I'm going to pin it. I'll pin it right here. It's pinned. So you can go check out the channel after if you want to. The last video is the one that did very well because it's a very good video. We did a ton of research. I just put the channel right there. It's also in the community tab. If you go to our community tab, we have the video there. But I pinned it there in the chat so you guys can check it out and look at it. Brazilian Fury saying the channel's closing in on 1,000 subs too. So yeah, you all should help. Yeah, we're gonna. I'm not too worried. So for that channel, I'm not too worried about the subscriber count, the views. We're doing it as like a hobby, and if it grows, it grows. And based on the third video, it looks like there's some potential there. I want to do some Brazil streams there too, something I always wanted to do, and I want to bring you to the channel. Got to bring Brazilian Fury to a channel covering Brazil, right? I mean, we've brought him here before for Brazil streams, but it makes much more sense to have him there. How often do I talk about Neymar? So, Brett, you just guessed the next video. The next video that we are producing for that channel is all about Neymar. I'm not going to tell you what about, but it's all about Neymar. Not just the transfer. It's about a lot of things, but it's about Neymar. So that's going to be the next video for that channel. We take our time with it too. We try to make it very well produced. Because with Tactical Manager TV, we do rush a few things, right? We rush. Well, we don't make the content bad, but some Tactical Manager TV videos, we do have to speed through it. Like the USMNT Abroad, if we don't go fast with it and we're not efficient with it, we can't get it out on time. It's a lot of work, the USMNT Abroad. It takes over the weekend. Player interviews, all of that are meant to be, just to go by faster. Now, by the way, we have an interview tomorrow with a former U.S. men's national team player that is already retired. Can anyone guess who it is? There's an interview coming out tomorrow with a former U.S. men's national team player that is retired. He was a forward. Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess? Kobe Jones? No, not Kobe Jones. Even though I'd love to have Kobe Jones, but no, it's not Kobe Jones. Landon Donovan. Oh my god! Imagine me interviewing Landon Donovan. Break Shea. I already had Break Shea on the channel. Alexi Lalas. No. One day I'll have Alexi. Eric Rinaldo. No. Clint Dempsey. I would love to have Clint. No. Okay, I'll just tell you. Paul Riola. Paulie Nipples. Paulie Nipples is still playing, man. He's not retired. Paulie Nipples. It's Eddie Johnson. We're going to have Eddie Johnson on tomorrow to talk about youth development, the work he's doing here in Central Florida, issues with youth development in the United States. So you guys are not going to want to miss out on that. We have an exclusive interview with Eddie Johnson coming out tomorrow. And boy, is this guy outspoken, Eddie Johnson. We have part 2 coming out next week. And he had some really hot takes. These takes were flaming hot. Flaming hot. It was. He should start his own YouTube channel. That's what I'll say. He should start his own YouTube channel. The dude just says whatever he wants, and I love it. I love it very much. Anthony Tinaj is saying, I want Costa Rica to score so Ejeda can jump like a fool and become a Super Saiyan. Remember Super Saiyan Miguel Ejeda in the 2014 World Cup? Remember that? Man, Diego Luna balling out with that nose that was like broken in half. And he's still balling out. Looks like a warrior. Looks like the gladiator, Maximus. You know, the good one from Gladiator 1, not Gladiator 2, that monstrosity there. I hated that movie. I did not like Gladiator 2, but I already talked about that before. Oh, yeah, Diego Luna's nose is most certainly broken. Okay, Gutierrez with a horrible delivery. Horrible delivery. Jimmy Conrad interview would be fun. Yeah, man, if Jimmy doesn't hate me, I'll gladly have him. But I don't know, man. The guy got angry at me once out of nowhere for no reason. Steven Spada saying best striker in CONCACAF is the dog from Ted Lasso. I only watched season 1 of Ted Lasso, so I don't. Was there a dog in season 1? I don't remember that. Was there a dog on season 1 of and Miles Robinson just accidentally ran into the Costa Rican goalkeeper. It's a bunch of nothing right there. Jimmy is sensitive. Yeah, I guess he is. Like, I would be fine with having. I wanted to have Jimmy Conrad on the channel a long time ago. I've always wanted, because I mainly liked his work with his personal YouTube channel. I don't like his coverage of the U.S. men's national team, to be honest, but I really liked Kick TV with him, and I also liked Jimmy Conrad on his own channel when he covered European soccer. But I don't know. The dude just like lashed out on me on Twitter once for no reason. Like, I wasn't even talking about him. Wasn't even talking about him. No idea why. It was something about like Chris Armas being his friend. But I mean, hey, you guys want to shit on Pete on Twitter? Go ahead. I'm not going to let shout on you. Go shit on Pete. That's how I treat my friends. No, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, I want to have Jimmy, but it doesn't seem like he would be open to it. SS Ejera says, was during the Liga MX final. Oh, Super Saiyan Miguel Ejera was in the Liga MX final. Are you sure they didn't make one for the World Cup also? I thought he had like a Super Saiyan one in the World Cup too. Okay. Bring Landon and Tim Howard to the channel. Look, Tim Howard is one of my favorite players of all time. I don't think they would ever want to come to the channel. Landon Donovan and Tim Howard. So there's that. There's that. Look, I am open to having anyone on Tactical Manager TV, even if it's someone that I disagree a lot, someone that I despise. Brian Gutierrez. Okay, good moves and bad finish right there. But I would have anyone on. I'm open to discussions with people that I disagree with, people that don't like me, but I just don't think that Landon and Tim Howard would want to come on. I don't think so. I also don't feel like this US. I don't feel like trying to invite anyone anymore. Especially after Cade Cowell had his like friends and family come after me saying that we use Cade Cowell for an interview for views, even though player interviews are literally our worst performing videos. And the channel has been built based upon live streams and the USMNT Abroad series. But then you have players coming on the channel and then saying that they built the channel after because of one stupid interview that if you delete from the channel, it wouldn't freaking matter. Nothing would matter. So for that reason, like, I'm very picky these days with who I bring to the channel. Because one, I don't feel like hearing shit like that. And two, some guys suck, man, on camera. Landon Donovan is one of them. He's really bad. Like, would he be interesting? It's not really interesting. He sometimes goes viral because he says some very crazy stuff, like the whole Pulisic to MLS thing. But it's just about picking, like, players at this point that are worth the discussion. Like, Eddie Johnson is very outspoken. So whether he agrees or disagrees with me, it doesn't matter. That's a great interview. Hurt Gomez, great interview. Eric Wijnaldum would be a great interview. Tab Ramos, great interview. All these guys. Cade Cowell's family got mad at you for criticizing him. I'm assuming so. What else would it be? I never punched the guy. I never mistreated the guy. I never met the guy in person. It can only be for criticizing him as a player. I can't really think of another reason for them like getting sensitive about it, which is a bit weird because look, once you're in the entertainment industry, whether it is soccer, whether it is YouTube, whether it is movie industry, you're not immune to criticism. It's part of the job. I get shat on all the time. But you don't see my family crying about it. You don't see me crying about it. So I don't know why any family member of a professional athlete getting criticized, why they would get so sensitive about it. It's just very insecure behavior from a lot of them. Because the fact of the matter is, once you are, like, I guess like public figure, right? Professional athletes, once you're there, you're out there, and it's the entertainment business. It's not really a productive job. You're there to entertain people, be judged, perform well, perform like shit, get criticized, get praised. Like, criticism comes with it. And a lot of our players, I don't know if it's like that in other countries. I have never dealt really with parents from other countries, but it's not just his family. It's a lot of families from different players. They don't know how to behave. They don't know how to deal with criticism. It's very weird and insecure. Come on, Ticos. Yeah, it's 1-0 the U.S. The U.S. has been better than Costa Rica. Like, not by a lot. It's not like the performance has been dominant or anything. But the U.S. is clearly the better side. Oh, and Ellie just gave the ball away. And Costa Rica almost got a 1v1 with Zach Steffen. Was that in Ellie? Yeah, it was number 5, right? Or am I wrong about that? Yeah, who's number 5? I don't know. I can't see from far away. Who's number 5 for the U.S.? Hold on. I'll figure it out. Give me a second. Number 5 for the United States is Dejuan Jones. Not in Ellie. Dejuan Jones that lost that ball. And Rocco22 saying player interviews are mostly boring. I agree with you. Unless it's a player like Hurt Gomez, a former player, Hurt Gomez, Eddie Johnson, Tab Ramos, that are more willing to speak their mind. Like player interviews of like active players, I'm not gonna lie, they mostly suck ass. They're not really good on camera, and they're very scared of saying anything. Like player interviews of active players these days is not really something that I'm looking for. I want to provide good content, informative content, and most active players are not very interesting. They're just not, and they're also very scared of saying anything, which I get it. I get it. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in their position in that sense. Didn't I have? Yeah, I had Aronson on, but Brandon Aronson, Paxton Aronson, never had issues with them. They never whined about anything, as far as I know. Never seen their family complain about anything. I think the Aronson family is just like very much more secure than they're not insecure. I've never had any issues with them. I was talking about like Cade Cowell's family. But then they said, didn't you have Aronson on? Did his family complain? It's like, no, actually, the Aronson family, I've never seen them actually whine on Twitter. I never really seen Brendan and Paxton whine about anything. They just kind of look for all the shit they get sometimes for being like hustle merchants. Aronson just kind of goes and plays for all the shit he gets.
Also, I think if you look at the way both of their sons have conducted themselves in Europe, whatever their level of play or their level of quality, you can tell they have a lot of grit, right? Look at Aronson. First Salzburg, then he gets the opportunity at Leeds. It doesn't go well. That's fine. You go on loan to Union Berlin. That doesn't go so well. Come back to the championship, put the work in. Like, it would have been easy to quit, to go, you know what, I'll go home. I'll be a DP in MLS and make a lot of money.
Or go to Liga MX like KK.
Sure, right? Same with Paxton. It wasn't going well at Frankfurt. He wasn't getting minutes. That's okay. Go to the Eredivisie, try there, continue to develop. Both of them are blessed with a very never say die attitude. And whatever their quality is or ends up being, you have to give them props for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't run home and take the money.
They're also not quitters. They do keep going. Like we said. And to be fair, too, in terms of like level of quality from them, for all the criticism they do get from us, even, they are better than any player in the field right now. So
yes.
Ignoring the mentality part, we're talking just from a technical standpoint, they're better than all the players in the field right now. Joseph S. is saying, is coaching making Barcelona's Champions League bench a big deal? Not really, because there were 2 goalkeepers on the bench, right?
He's essentially their third. Yeah. Their third goalkeeper for the senior team, which is still great, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't mean much except that he's training with the first team a lot, and he's playing with the youth teams as well.
Yeah.
Can I just finish? Then I have something I want to say.
Julian Viva is saying, where will Taylor Booth go? It beats the crap out of me. I don't know. We heard MLS. There should be some options in Europe. He really fell off because we've seen the potential with him. He's not a bad player. There's something there, but injuries and I don't know. We'll see what happens with Taylor Booth.
I think the multiple injuries have really hurt him because if you're not even cutting it in the Eredivisie, it's hard for me to see anywhere in Europe that you can play that's better than MLS.
Well, he could go to a lower Eredivisie side like Paxton did last year and then play well, get his confidence back up, and then play for Utrecht because he did show like a year or 2 ago that he can play for Utrecht.
Yeah, it's just ever since then, the multiple injuries, and even when he comes back from injury, it's been quite poor actually. So it's hard to keep believing in him for only so long, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then what were you gonna say?
Well, I want to talk about, because we talk about this camp and mostly we laugh at it or shit on it. There is one thing that I actually took away from the last game too, and from this one as well. And I'm going to say this on the post game as well because I do think it matters, regardless of the quality on the field. And regardless of the opponent that we're facing, the quality of the opponent that we're facing, both of which are quite poor, I will say Pochettino's give the players freedom to play has been quite palpable, right? I don't know if you remember Greg's January camps, but they were also the same way that the non-January camp played, right? Go into the defense. Defense gives it to the fullback. The fullback passes it to midfield. Midfield gives it to the winger. And then we like switch the point of attack. It was this very slow, methodical buildup. In both of these games, and we saw the same against Jamaica as well, whatever the quality on the field is, you can see the players having the freedom to play. They don't look like they're overthinking things. They're trying things. It doesn't come off, obviously, always. But you can see there's freedom to play. So that's the first thing that I've noticed. The second thing is the directness. Do you remember how long it took to get the ball from the goalkeeper to like a striker under Berhalter's system?
Well, it wouldn't get there most of the time.
Right. But it was like this attempt at over possession in order to eventually create some sort of numerical advantage in a certain part of the field. That's not evident here. Even when they play out of the back, they move the ball up the field very quickly. They're not afraid to be direct. And by direct, I don't mean necessarily long balls over the top. I mean, you play it into the midfielder. Instead of the midfielder trying to pass back to the fullback, he takes it on the half turn and looks forward for it and looks for a forward pass, looks for a through ball. That kind of directness when you have a numerical superiority with the right quality on the field, obviously, because this is not it, but it can be really good. And I think it's consistent with what we've seen from Pochettino so far. So although it's not a big deal, I think it is an additional valuable context clue into what we're going to see from Pochettino with the senior team again in March. I hope.
Didn't Tim Ream say something like that this week?
Yes, he did.
Do you remember what he said?
So to the extent, he didn't mention Berhalter by name, but he was talking about Pochettino's principles of play. And he was saying, look, it's not always you must pass here before you can pass anywhere else, and then you must pass here before you can pass anywhere else. He has his ideas about how he wants to play, but he says, guys, you have the freedom to play. 100,000 different possibilities will come up in a game, and you have to sort out the problems on your own. So these are some principles, some ideas that we like, but you sort it out on the field yourself based on what you think is best. And I find that quite interesting because mainstream media was silent on that after 6 years of criticizing USMNT fans for saying essentially the same thing, right? And it's not just Tim Ream who said this now. Joe Scally alluded to it, right? When he talked about, this is not a club team and you have more freedom. Pepe alluded to it when he talked about wanting, Poch giving them freedom to play. That's all you can ask for. We've heard guys like Eric Williamson and even Tyler Adams and Christian Roldan say that Berhalter's system was very complex, right? So it's not just one guy saying it. The players echo what the fans, the supposedly unknowledgeable toxic fans, have been saying for years. But it's also so palpable when Pochettino comes in and we see them doing the exact things we've asked for to whatever degree of success. We're asking for them to have more freedom to play and to try things and to even fail. And for the most part, even this January camp, as bad as it's been, it has certainly looked a lot better than a Berhalter January camp in terms of what they're trying to do.
I think the words Tim Ream used was literally a breath of fresh air. He said that.
Yeah.
So that sounded somewhat of an attack on whatever was strangling him prior.
Yes.
Rocco Tutu say they should get a 9-to-5 job that don't pay much if they can't take little shit talking. Oh, you're talking about players. Yeah, I mean, me and Pete talk about this all the time because me and Pete actually get a ton of hate. There are moments where we get a lot of love from you guys, but we get a ton of hate all the time. And we just know that if we're going to put our faces out there, opinions, or be in like this entertainment industry or whatever, which would be like what YouTube is and what being a soccer player is and what like actors maybe are and just in general, like putting yourself out there, you're going to be criticized. You're going to be shat on, like things happen. So the fact that any player can't take criticism and their family members freak out whenever anyone says, oh, this guy's not the most technical guy, and they freak out about it. It just shows that they probably should, I don't know, they should seek help.
Also, I'm sorry, but the American soccer landscape is literally one of the most tame, neutered fan bases I've seen in the entire world. Like, it is one of the most supportive, enthusiastic, happy to root for the boys. The criticism, even the supposedly outrageous criticism that some people are accused of, is still so mild compared to anything they would receive anywhere in the world.
Well, also, what is so bad about saying, like, if you're a soccer player and you come out and you say, for a soccer player, a professional soccer player standard, this player kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, what is offensive about that?
No, nothing. Even if you say he really sucks, even if you say he effing sucks, that is where I draw the line is don't attack them personally, right? Like, attacking
Like
Aaron
they
Long,
do to me and you?
like they do to you and me, right?
Yeah.
Attacking Aaron Long's family, for example, or his children, that would be, unacceptable, not good. But as far as their playing ability, attack them all you want if you think that it deserves it, or praise them as much as you want. Like, whatever. Like, it's soccer, right? Guys, go to the SEC. Go to the SEC and watch what they say about their players when they're not playing well. Like, even in America, we're not talking about soccer outside of America. We're talking about other sports in America. Like, come on. Players have it so good. So good.
Okay, and then Brad Berhalter saying, just tuning in, is this Costa Rica's A, B, or C team? It's definitely not the A team. Now, I don't know where it falls in terms of B or C. I'm not Los Ticos like specialist, so an expert. So it's not the A team, but we don't know what letter of the alphabet it is. Nabruto, how you doing, man? He's saying, thoughts on Diego Luna so far? I thought Diego Luna was one of the bright sides of this first half.
I would say inconsistent. Very, very good at times.
Flashy.
Very, very poor.
Flashy
at times.
Yeah. I mean, the thing too, like the goal that we got, like the assist that he got, he was feeding like the American Erling Haaland. So does that assist even count? Like Brian White?
Brian White, Camp Cupcake legend / future World Cup starter for the USMNT.
Because of
I want to stress that Brian White has scored for the U.S. more recently than the following strikers: Folarin Balogun, Ricardo Pepi, Josh Sargent for sure, Haji Wright,
even
those
Pulisic.
guys. Christian Pulisic. Like, is it even a debate at this point?
Yeah, it's like I know this is an uncomfortable conversation to have, but should Brian White maybe start on the left wing over Christian Pulisic?
I think so. I mean, look, right now he's doing things that Pulisic is not doing. Pulisic was on the bench today. I know for an injury, but let's not get too wrapped up in facts. He was on the bench today. Is Brian White on the bench today? No, he isn't. Case closed.
Yeah, people don't understand that. And let's also not even get into like the USMNT Camp Cupcake stats where Pulisic has 0 goals.
0 Camp Cupcake goals. Just like Sargent, 0 Camp Cupcake goals.
And Pulisic, I think he's a year older than Brian White.
No, Brian White's 28, Pulisic's 26. But still, 0 Camp Cupcake goals says it all to me.
Yeah, imagine someone clips this little segment and all of a sudden they're going to put that.
I hope they do. I hope they do.
They release it on X and then the MLS shows like all start agreeing with us.
Well, it was like that one Orlando like beat reporter who like quote tweeted me about something being like, this faceless, nameless nobody saying things that are terrible for the U.S. soccer community. And everyone's like, you can criticize Pete for a lot of things. Being faceless or nameless ain't one of them.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah. Jeff Carey saying, sorry I'm late. I just got out of the doctor and I have, what even is that?
Peyronie's?
Peyronie disease? Should I Google that? I'm afraid of Googling that.
I don't know what that is, actually. I'm not going to Google it, but I sure hope you get better soon, Brian. Brian, sorry. I'm Brian White.
Who would have sent that super chat, Pete?
Brian White at halftime. It'd be hilarious if one of the players at halftime was like, Brian White played amazing, and like sending us $20 after.
Michael saying, serious question, politics aside, if Trump somehow ends birthright citizen, would it affect the USMNT roster in the past or present FIFA rules? Look, one, I'm not really like well versed on this topic on what's going on. I haven't been paying attention to that specifically. But from what I know, one, I don't think he can do that. That's the first thing.
It's a constitutional amendment.
It almost sounds like I know he signed it in like as an executive order, but it almost seems something more performative than actually going to happen. It's not going to go through. So it's just something that he told his voter base or his fan base, whatever you want to call it, that he was going to do that, and he has to do it, even though he knows that it's not going to go through. And I think even if for some reason it went through, I would assume it's something like starting now.
Yeah, it would not
going
be retroactive
forward. And I think it's also not like birthright citizenship. I don't know, man. It's
So I'll just say real quick, it's a constitutional amendment. In order to change a constitutional amendment, it requires a 66% or 2/3 majority vote in the House, which the way our politics is divided, they're never going to do that. So it does, you're right. It seems more performative than anything.
Yeah, so I wouldn't really be overly concerned about that specifically. Julian Viva is saying, but again, like that's a super chat you might want to send to a actual channel that talks about politics and knows the details of what's happening, because maybe this shit will go through. Who knows? Julian Vivas say, will you or Pete interview Greg Berhalter on your YouTube channel? Julian Vivas, we would both absolutely have Greg Berhalter on. There is probably a 0% chance that Greg Berhalter would come on. You saw his comments on that like coaches convention where people go to lick each other's butts constantly.
We have been to that convention.
Yes, we didn't personally lick anyone's butt, but we saw a lot of butt licking. There was butt licking everywhere. There was saliva in every single butt crack in that place, but not literally. Okay, guys. Otherwise, you guys are gonna think we went to like an orgy.
Jeff Carey's getting very excited right now.
Yeah, Jeff Carey's like, "Where's this convention?" Starts attending it every year. But yeah, we're not. Look, if you look at his comments there, he clearly probably knows who we are at this point.
Yes, it's quite interesting actually. He spoke about how the Twitter and Instagram. I don't know about Instagram so much, but why he brought that up. He was like, the Twitter world didn't like me, but in the real world, everyone liked me. It was like, how many stadiums was this man booed in? He was booed in stadiums he wasn't even in, right? Remember when he went to it was an SEC game and they had Berhalter out signs. Like this man was so hated.
Pete,
he's delusional if he thinks it was
every single supporters group came out against him.
Yes.
Officially against him.
He was booed in almost every stadium. Even when he went to Chicago, remember, to do the Cubs song at halftime or as a baseball game at the Cubs, he was like, "Are we excited for the World Cup?" And everyone was like, "Boo."
Well, what's it? Dom from Twitter was like cursing out the CEO of US Soccer on like a Kansas City barbecue joint.
Well, that's the other thing. They're implying that Twitter people are not real life. It's like, hello, they're all people. I'm sure there are a few bots, but mostly all these Twitter people, they're in spaces too. It's like, you can't pretend that it's only Twitter. Like it's not real life. There's people behind Twitter.
Yeah, it's someone tweeting, right? Unless he believes everyone's a bot. But S27 is saying nothing wrong with being faceless and nameless. No, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. What we were saying prior to that is just that if you put your face out there, you put your opinion out there, or you put whatever soccer abilities you have out there, or lack of soccer abilities out there, you have to be open for criticism. And Mihlevic is coming on, probably because Diego Luna's nose is like falling off.
Yeah.
So Jeff Carey explained it. His wiener is bent.
Thank you, Jeff. I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah, and we'll end it at that, Jeff. We'll end it at that. So it's Clark, McGlynn,
and Miljevic,
yeah. So I'm assuming it's Luna out. Hopefully Anelli, because that was not a good performance.
No.
I think Tyler Adams can go to sleep now.
I think so. I think he's going to be okay. But be careful, because wait till he starts playing well in RSL preseason against college teams in Utah. That's where really Tyler has to watch out. So don't sleep too hard yet, Tyler.
No, but you can now, get some hot chocolate, get some melatonin, and sleep tight and sleep well. So second half here, in a very unusually cold day in Orlando for the U.S. men's national. And everyone, if you all just tuned in, make sure to drop a like in this video if you haven't already. I don't know how many we have. You guys can put it in the chat there. But yeah, thank you everyone that tuned in. Where is it here? Milovic coming on. Jeff can't have children. Wait, what? What's going on here in the chat? What? Jeff Carey, Pete and Tack. Do either of you have erectile dysfunction?
There's a great clip from The Office where I think Andy gets fired and he's having ED issues. And then Aaron goes to Dwight and asks him when he broke up with Angela if he ever had ED issues. And this is one of my favorite Dwight lines. He looks at her and he's like, I have never, ever experienced anything like that, nor will I ever. And then he's like, Eiffel Tower.
The Office is pretty freaking good.
It's a great show.
Yeah. They're saying, wait, what happened to the Tyler Adams joke? The Tyler Adams joke is that me and Pete, you see, too many people complained that, not too many people, a few whiny people complained that we were too negative about Camp Cupcake. So me and Pete talked and we were like, look, they're not going to change this shit show. They're not going to change it. So we're like, we might as well have fun with it. So early in the stream, we were making fun of the fact that maybe Eneli can have a good performance against Costa Rica's D team or whatever the hell this is. And, you know, he can bench Tyler Adams. It was a joke. And that's what we were joking about, how now Tyler can go to sleep because Eneli dropped a bit of a stinker against. Well, he's still playing.
I'm trying to raise my optimism levels in order to not disappoint people. So I hope my optimism levels make people feel good.
And Tack, I sent you an email, Jeff Carey. I am very afraid of opening
whether or not to open this. If there's an attachment, do not click on it. I'll tell you that right now.
He hacks into my computer. Genevieve is saying, do you guys think Trump will be okay with the World Cup here? There will be a lot of people from a lot of other countries.
There's a lot of money. He loves the World Cup here.
There's going to be a lot of attention, and he loves attention. So I think he'll love it.
Also, dude, what's his name was in the inauguration.
Infantino, yeah.
Infantino was right there in the inner rotunda. So I'm pretty sure everything's going to be fine as far as the World Cup. Trump, he likes hotels and vacations and tourists and business. Whatever you think about Trump, the World Cup is an event. He loves big events.
Well, yeah, and it'll just get a lot of attention. And I think that even the World Cup became officially for the United States when
Trump was president.
It was his first term, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 2018. It was 2 years into his first term.
Yeah, for anyone wondering what the substitutions were, it was Luna is out, probably because of the broken nose. Trying to figure out the other one.
Isn't Vasilev out?
So it was Kremaski, Gutierrez, and Luna for Clark, McGlynn, and Mihlevic.
Oh, so wait, Vasilev is still there?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Yeah, he just took a weird first touch. DeJuan Jones to Miles Robinson. You know, like this game, Miles just lost the ball, and now we're getting hit in transition. Lucky for him, Costa Rica is not good, so you don't get punished for that.
No.
Saying Jeff, stop talking to those people. Who's Jeff talking to? What's our opinion on John Token going to the Bundesliga? I liked it. I mean, he's getting out of his comfort zone. He's been among the best left backs in MLS, probably the best American left back in MLS, and he's taking a step to a tougher challenge. I like it. I have no complaints about it. Jack McGlynn with like 250 minutes on the ball with no one pressing him. They just like don't even press the guy. Indiana Vasilev with the cross. Are the Costa Rican players professional players?
Yeah, they play in the Costa Rican league. For a lot of teams, mostly play for like Saprissa.
And Alajuelense, right?
Yeah, Alajuelense is the other big one. They don't go anywhere in the Champions League, like the CONCACAF Champions League. So it's not very quality.
No, but occasionally we have an MLS team knocked out by like a team from Haiti.
Yes, occasionally. But I'm just saying, like, Liga MX and MLS tend to go fairly far in the Champions League. There's usually at least one MLS team in a semifinal, and Liga MX ends up winning it. But Costa Rican teams don't even get close, even Alajuelense and Saprissa.
Pete, how high in the FBI's most wanted list do you think Jeff Carey is?
I don't think they're too worried about Jeff. I don't think so. I think they think he's pretty harmless. I think there are worse people out there.
Yeah. He's just a little bit too freaky. He just needs like a weekend in Vegas and he gets it all out. And then
Vegas, maybe West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Seems like the kind of place he would like. I don't know. Orlando,
Miami. So yeah, he just has some fun, do a little dance here and there, and then he's good to go. And then he behaves. Ruben is saying, who's Weston's backup? Musa, Tessman, Brendan, Paxton, someone else? Well, we don't know what Weston's starting position is for Pochettino. Is it in a 8? Is it the 10? We don't know yet.
Yeah, and we don't really know enough about what Pochettino wants to do with everybody healthy. But I would say Tillman can play there, Musa can play there, Aronson can play there. Johnny can play there, frankly. Tessman can play there. Gio can even play there. It's not ideal. Paxton has been playing there for Utrecht as well. Like, there's a lot of guys between the 10 and the 8. I would say there's a lot of guys who can play those two roles.
Yeah, but if we think about it, probably the immediate backup is probably Musa because he might play at the 8.
Musa probably makes the most sense. Oh my God. The Costa Rica guy just gave it to Walker Zimmerman under no pressure. Oh my God.
Mihlevic out wide to Indiana Vasilev Brian White. I keep getting Brian White and Vasilev confused.
They both look like they're about to have a midlife crisis. They look like they both look like they're my age. They're not. Vasilev's only 23. Can you believe that?
Yeah, because he was a prospect in like 2018, right?
No, but I'm saying looks wise. Like, if I was in Hollywood, I'd be like, that's a 33-year-old father of 2.
Yeah, he looks like a dad that's kind of frustrated with his marriage, but he has kids, and then he's just kind of like
playing video games, likes his grill.
Do it for the kids, right? Just stay.
Yeah, with it's like they definitely don't like each other that much anymore. But he loves his kids, and he has the job, and he has to pay off that mortgage. The type of guys that are like, definitely once the kids go off to college, they're getting a divorce.
Hopefully, the mortgage he has to pay was prior to like 2022. Because if he bought it after that, boy, it's expensive now. Some very expensive mortgages. Okay, the United States again. Jack McGlynn. Golden Kid saying, guys, contact this Candace Singer YouTuber Jonathan Michael Fleming to create a USMNT chant to take to the U.S. Men's National Team World Cup 2020. Let me look this guy up. Jonathan Michael, who is this guy? He's huge. 750,000. So he does chants, I guess. I mean, I'll have it saved here. I can reach out to him, but guys, this guy has 750,000 followers. He might never.
But also, even if this guy makes a chant and gives it to us, we don't typically go to games. He might have to talk directly to the people that go to games.
Yeah, we can kind of put it on Twitter, and if you guys share it, maybe the Outlaws or Baja, someone will use it.
The Outlaws have approved levels of chanting. They have to submit.
Yeah, that's true. There's like a list of words they can use, a list of words they can't use.
Well, even when they called for Berhalter out, do you believe for a single second that they didn't contact the federation and ask if they were allowed to say that?
He was probably fired already by then. They knew.
Yeah, I'm sure Matt Crocker said to them, Berhalter's done. So you can go ahead and now look like you're on the side of most fans and call for his axing. That's what I believe. Because I know the Outlaws, and they lock in step with the Federation. If the Federation says jump, they say how high.
Yeah, there was what was it again? It's just like when we talk about the Outlaws, we're talking about the leadership, right? Not if you were a fan and you like to go. Talk about the leadership of it. Yeah, they definitely.
White. Oh my God, Brian! Why did he take like 60 touches?
Hey, man, don't judge that legend.
Hi. Still scored more recently than Pepe.
Why is everyone putting one in the chat?
I don't know. I was going to ask you, is that a tack joke or something?
No.
Bro, hit that. You know why? It's because he took a poor first touch that didn't set up the shot. His first touch took it away from his body. So he had to try and cut it back in. And then he lost the opportunity.
Well, he took a poor first touch, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, he took 3 or 4 poor touches.
No, I'm not joking with you when I say that I wouldn't really have Brian White on the team that I'm building.
On the TST tournament? No, I wouldn't either.
No. I would not have Brian White in it. So there's that. That's the level here. Now, honestly, too, actually, we'll talk about that later. But
did Miles just give the ball away again?
Yeah, he's very giving. He's very giving today.
Very giving guy, man. The kind of person you would want to buy your presents at Christmas.
And
although
Jeff Carey,
you're not a big fan of paying his shots bill.
Yeah, that was a weird story.
That was a weird story, right? When he had the Achilles injury, apparently had a bunch of shots and refused to pay for them.
Mm-hmm. But Jeff is saying, Tack, you should have me on as a special guest. Chat, enter 1 if you want me on with Tack's.
I don't think it's that much of a democracy here, Jeff.
That's why they were putting 1.
I think they're just here to watch the world burn. If you have Jeff, I will suddenly have a very important meeting that I have to get to, Tack.
Well, he is very high risk. I contacted my lawyer and my insurance company, and they said, do not have Jeff on. They said no.
I didn't even need to contact mine. I just knew.
I wanted to just make sure. But Julian View is saying, will you or not make a video with Luke Sports Academy? Julian, I talked about this before. I looked up Luke Sports Academy when you guys mentioned. He is a new soccer fan, and he does like reaction videos, right? So the thing with our channels is we usually have
good save, Zach Steffen. Good save.
Costa Rica almost scored. The thing with bringing guests to the channel is I need to have a purpose. I don't know what episode I would have with Luke Sports Academy. That's my thing. He reacts to like soccer, and he does put out his opinions, to be fair, but I just don't really know what would I bring him on. Like, look at the guests that I bring and the people I work with. It's pretty much Pete, and then I'll bring Herc, or Eddie Johnson's coming up, right? Or I'll bring Adam too, that's been a friend of the channel for a long time. And then if we play a different team, I'll bring like someone from that team to talk about it. So I don't know what video I would do with him. That's the thing. I don't like having guests for the sake of having it.
Yeah, I think it's about definitely bringing on people who have value for the channel, like if they have something interesting to say. But I think if you have like reactions, that's okay. But like that's for a different type of channel, maybe.
Yeah. But Golden Kid, I will thank you for the super chat, and I'll try to email Jonathan Michael Fleming. I just can't promise that he's going to respond, right? The guy has almost 1 million followers, and sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. But I'll make sure to reach out to him and see how it goes. John K. saying, Tack, are you going to go get a Blue Sky account? Fellas, listen, I cannot manage another social media account. Dustin's already trying to get like the TikTok going. I already don't really do anything on Instagram. It's Dustin. I literally just script videos, work on videos, and I go on Twitter. So I know Blue Sky is just like Twitter, so probably not. Like, it's just another platform to grow and be there. So to me, not really. I don't think Pete's going to do it too. We don't have that much time, guys.
Don't have time. And I also don't want the headache of having so many multiple. I can't even get my Instagram. I don't pay. If there's anything I need to do, it's to get my Instagram, my 11 Yanks Instagram going more. But like, you have to remember, we also have jobs. Like, I have to be on set, a lot. Tomorrow, next day, Saturday, Sunday also. We have to support ourselves too. So as much as we would like to be full-time content creators, we just don't have that time, Oh yeah, no, Shaq Moore's coming.
Another Camp Cupcake legend and World Cup legend.
World Cup legend, Tack. and Copa America, nearly Copa America legend if it wasn't for the heroism of Jose.
Copa America veteran.
He's a veteran. He's a vibes guy from Copa America.
But to you guys, also, I don't even know what I would post on Blue Sky. Would I just copy and paste my tweets? I don't know, man. I worked too hard and too long on X to build up that account.
Also, most people on Blue Sky are also on X, or they left X out of protest for one reason or another.
Yeah, and they're saying Twitter is dying. It's a fact. I kind of feel like in terms of engagement and size, Twitter feels more or less like the same shit as always.
Yeah, I don't think it's dying. I think it's just it's probably about the same as it's ever been.
Yeah, I wouldn't fall for the propaganda of either side. I wouldn't really fall for the Elon propaganda that's like the biggest thing in the world now. I also probably wouldn't fall for the propaganda of the other side that will say that it's dying. It feels.
Are you suggesting that extremism on both sides is not good and that we should probably find the truth somewhere in the middle?
Unless it's hating on Berhalter.
Then extremism is good.
Yes. Then I think people are not extreme enough. But yeah, it's I think it's more or less the same, and I don't. It's like when that other thing came off, like Threads. I was just like,
yes, they still try Instagram. They put like Threads thing on my Instagram when I scroll and cut off like half of the whatever they're saying. So it's hopefully I click on it. I'm like, no, I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me to click on it and download your app. Not doing
yeah, Zuckerberg, you're not gonna trick me. But yeah, I don't feel like getting. If you're like
we won't get on Truth Social either.
No.
Can you imagine we're attacking Peter on Truth Social?
Truth Social is like Donald Trump and like his very big diehards.
Yes, a lot of his fans. They might not even know what soccer is, some of them.
No. They'll say, that's a commie sport. That's what they're going to say.
I'll be like, did you know that Pulisic did the Trump dance? And they'll be like, we like him. Who's that? Croatian guy?
The LeBron James of soccer.
Exactly.
Oh, but they don't like LeBron.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah, they don't like LeBron. So that's tricky right there because you have Pulisic doing the Trump dance.
Can we say that he's the Aaron Rodgers of soccer?
They would like that for sure.
Probably like that.
The Kyrie Irving of soccer.
Kyrie Irving. What about Brett? Isn't Brett Favre also a big Trump guy?
I don't know who that is.
A former footballer. Brett Favre. Who else? Tim Tebow or whatever his name is.
Is he a Trump guy? He was like super Christian, right? Tim Tebow.
Yeah. Tebow. Yeah. I think so. He was like praying and stuff before games openly.
It's kind of funny when people say that praying before games or praying is like associated to Trump. It's like, it's just like,
what?
Like praying?
Praying.
Really?
Praying's been around a long time, guys.
I don't know about you, but Trump doesn't strike me as the praying type also, as much as he talks about it.
I don't know if he's actually a Christian or not.
Yeah. Doesn't strike me as a Christian, but yeah. But anyhow, back here. This is how interesting the game is. Talking about Tim Tebow.
Apparently, his name is not T-Bone. It's Tebow. My apologies, guys.
It's Tim Tebow.
You know me. I do not watch a lot of NFL.
I remember Tim Tebow because I was in high school, and he was like good for the Broncos for like a year, and I would use him on like Madden because he would run a lot, and I couldn't throw, so I would just run on Madden. That's the NFL.
Oh my God, Zimmerman just got completely turned in the box.
I saw it.
Oh,
but then I remember in high school that Tim Tebow just started sucking out of nowhere, or maybe he always sucked. I don't know. I don't know much about American
it's Ream. Sorry, not Zimmerman. I'm watching the replay. It was Ream.
Adam say, did you guys talk about Infantino at the inauguration? Yeah, Pete mentioned it, and I saw it too. The FIFA president was on Trump's inauguration.
Well, the reality is they're going to need the Trump administration's cooperation a lot to pull off this World Cup. So that I'm not totally surprised.
He would kiss ass of whoever's there.
Yeah, if it was Kamala, he'd be there too.
Yeah, like
Infantino. This World Cup is all about joy. No, he's going to be like, today I feel joy. Today I feel whatever.
He needs immigrants for the World Cup, mainly because of attendance. He's like, today I feel like taking down the wall.
Today I feel Mexican.
He feels everything. Yeah, Infantino would be in any inauguration now because he's gonna need to kiss ass of whoever is president. If whether it was Kamala, Biden, Trump, Infantino
if
needs
you
the
and I were
cooperation.
president, you'd be like, today I feel tactical Yanks.
Tactical Yanks.
TST tournament champions.
And then so Infantino would be kissing ass regardless. I don't think he would care who's in charge. He just cares about getting all the support he can for the World Cup. That's what I think. But
the second half is quite bad, huh?
Yeah, and Costa Rica almost tied the game. Julian Viva is saying Trump is IDS. He's from Utah and he went to BYU. What is IDS?
Oh, LDS, Latter-day Saints. That's Mormonism.
And he's from Utah. Isn't Trump's from New
not
York?
From Utah, isn't he? From
New York, right?
No, yeah, he's from New York. He's not from Utah.
Yeah, I thought it was like his dad had like a real estate company in New York, and that's what I always heard of. I don't know. Tack, would you rinse Trump in a soccer match?
Most people in this chat would rinse Trump. Wait, you talking about Baran? Yes, probably also Baran.
But what does he mean by rinse?
Rinse, like would you beat them with the ball? Like rinse, like Neymar rinses the defender.
Donald Trump? Yeah.
I mean, probably like, any Trump, dude.
I don't. Does the tall, lanky kid still play? Because he played academy in MLS.
DC United's academy, but he doesn't seem like a soccer playing. He doesn't seem like he has a soccer player's body. I saw some clips of him playing when he was like a kid, when he was like 12 or 13.
Didn't Trump like roast him on the FIFA Club World Cup opening video?
I don't know. Did he?
He roasted his son. Yeah, he kind of said he sucked.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, if it's Donald Trump, yeah, the dude's like 200 years old and overweight.
Even if it was Baran Trump, I don't think Baran Trump was a very good player. It's okay to enjoy the game, but I would probably rinse Baran. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No knock on Baran Trump. He just doesn't seem really like a soccer player.
He seems very goofy.
Yeah, I mean, he just seems like a tall, lanky kid. Like, maybe basketball. I don't know.
Maybe a good goalkeeper.
Maybe.
Doesn't seem agile enough, though, to be a goalkeeper. And what are the other Trumps that they have? The sons? It's like two guys. And then Ivana.
Donald Trump Jr. And then
Ivana's the one that Trump has a crush on, right? Ivana.
Does he?
Doesn't he have a crush on his daughter?
I've never heard that.
I thought he said something like that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said something like that. So that's Ivana, and then I think he has two sons, right? The two like guys that are very like aura-less.
Eric and Donald, yeah. Donald Jr. and Eric Trump.
Yeah, they're like very, very boring.
Yeah, they don't seem to have a lot of riz, as the kids are saying nowadays.
No, just a lot of money from daddy. Steven Spada saying, I'm glad I'm in bed in pain. Sounds like the game is worse. Oh, you're in pain. What's going on there, Steven? Are you okay? Is it from surgery? They're saying Ivana was his wife. Ivana was his wife?
Oh, Ivanka. No, Melania is his wife. Ivanka is his daughter.
Ivanka, I think, is the daughter he has a crush on that he said.
Ivanka, that's what it is. Oh, jeez.
There's been some very weird comments there. That's all I'll say, and I'll end it at that. But Steven, I hope you're okay, man, with whatever you have there. If you're in pain, if you're sick. I'm a little bit sick, too. My throat is killing me because Florida decided to become cold out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's wild.
Jeff Carey say, tackle make soccer great. Soccer was never great here, Jeff. You can't make soccer great again when it was never great. So yeah, there's that. Soccer was never great. Brett Oppenheim, Pete, this one's for you, actually.
Pete, are you trolling us with these name pronunciations? If so, well done. Baron Trump? I thought it had two R's, though. If it has two R's, isn't it Baran?
Has anyone ever heard Trump call his son? Is it Barron or Baron?
I'm sure there are people who watch Trump, so they say it's probably. If you guys say it's Barron, it's probably Barron. T-Bone, I genuinely thought that was his name, Tim T-Bone.
No. Tebow, I knew it was Tim Tebow because I told you, like in high school, he was like a big deal when I was in high school, and then he sucked. Because he ran, he just ran a lot. He was like a quarterback that couldn't throw, but he could run.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyways, Baron to me with 2 R's is pronounced Baron, but if people say it's Barron, then I'll believe them. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really follow politics that closely these days. It's a little bit.
Well, I'll look it up. If it's Barron or it's Barron. Oh, it is with 2 R's.
That's what I'm saying.
This kid is 6'7".
Yeah, he's very tall. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's like a very tall dude.
6'7". The dude could be a shooting guard in the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. That's the sport he should be playing.
Yeah. So, Brett, I'll believe you guys if it's pronounced Barron, but it is with 2 R's. That is true because Wikipedia just told me.
Let's just look it up on the phone. How do you pronounce Barron?
Oh no! Apparently they're saying that Tack is a libtard. Definitely not one of those. You know, the thing nowadays with politics that's fun. Look, what I've started to see over the years is that I understand where politics and all of it affects everyone's life. It's just that a lot of it just hasn't really affected mine. So because of a lot of the nonsense that I see on both sides, I decided to become a spectator, and it became a lot more fun. It became quite entertaining.
I also don't like the extremism that can get on both sides, right? Where it's like, you know, it becomes very culty on both sides. And it's like, if our guy does something, we'll find a way to justify it, or our girl. And if the other team's, you know, guy or girl does something, then we'll hate on them if they do the exact same thing. It's like team sports where it's like, oh, we got to support and defend our team no matter what. And I think both parties, to be frank, have plenty worthy of criticism. And frankly, it's the ruling class that we should be mad at in general, not each other. I think this idea that if you voted different than me, that I should hate you, that you're a bad person. It's like, guys, the media does a great job of keeping us all angry and at each other's throats and divided. But reality is, who you really should be mad at is the ruling class. Because
I voted for Bono, so it doesn't really matter.
Huh?
I voted for Bono.
I just think people are like playing team sports instead of realizing that not a single politician gives a F about any of us. And it's all about them. And everything that they have to say is in their, you know, just to get you to vote for them so they can do whatever's in their own best interest. Our entire government is run by special interest groups and big corporations that pay for campaigns and basically bribe public officials.
Allegedly, because we don't want to
not one of them cares about you. Or
allegedly, I don't want the FBI knocking on my door. Allegedly,
they tell them to come to my door. No, to talk to me. I'll speak with them.
And then all of a sudden, the guys say bye to Pete.
Yeah, all of a sudden Pete disappears. The 11 Yanks channel just has this new guy. You know, he's like, "Hi, I'm the new Pete, the AI bot appointed by your overlords." Nat claims it's going to be her. That will make for a fun time.
Thoughts on Gina Tolles, young player from Quakes? Never heard of him. Have you heard of him?
Nope.
I haven't heard of him. And
I know exactly what they're saying. Did you fall for it?
I read it. I think I did. Then
pronounce the name slowly, or at least in your head.
Oh. Okay, okay, good for you. At least it was $2 well spent. Pete, what do you think of the Fire signing? Wait.
2 youth. Yeah, they signed 2 young players. So one of them is an Italian player who's going to be with the MLS 2 team, like with their MLS 2 team. He's already 21, so I don't know if he's playing in MLS next at 21. That seems meh. Then they have another 15-year-old kid that they just signed to a homegrown contract. Very young, right? We'll see how he looks in MLS next this year, right? But yeah, I mean, good. let's see if they can hack it. Obviously neither of them is ready for the senior team yet. They're going to be with the MLS Next Pro team. So I don't think it's going to impact much. But really, if they want to play for the senior team, they got to learn to bark like African dogs, because that's what's going to get them places,
Dude, I'm like coughing like General Grievous right now.
You want to end the stream and go to just start the post game?
Yeah, we can do that. Let me just get dude, I'm like General Grievous here right now. I'll finish these super chats and we'll just end it. Go there. God. Okay. I'm alive. I'm okay. Do you have it ready?
I can. Yeah, it's pretty much ready.
Yeah, if you want to start going there, I'll meet you there in like 5 minutes max. I'll finish these super chats. I'm just gonna show them the Brazil channel that I started, and I'll head there. So it'll be before the 80th minute. Or if you want, just wait here. It'll be quick.
Yeah.
Steven Spada said, "Long COVID, the air quality from the fires doesn't help." What? Long COVID.
Oh, Steven Spada is in LA. He probably is suffering from COVID symptoms or long COVID symptoms, and then the air quality from the fires probably isn't helping. I'm sorry, Steven. That really sucks, man. What part of LA are you in?
Yeah, just try to stay as healthy as you can. Eat, drink a lot of water, rest. Don't let it put you down more than you are already. Hopefully you're doing fine and it's under control, which I'm assuming it is. If you're able to type and everything should be at least under control.
Yeah.
Joey's saying, are you saying Trump wouldn't be good at soccer even with the power of Diet Coke?
I mean, we know what celebration he would do if he ever scored a goal. Imagine if they have an over 70 league.
Well, I didn't get the power of Diet Coke, though. But
I don't know. I think he drinks a lot of Diet Coke is probably the joke, because he drinks a lot.
Why
of
is he fat?
Diet Coke is just as bad for you as real Coke. This idea that Diet Coke is somehow better is wild. It just has like aspartame instead of sugar. It's the same.
But he's like really fat. Like he probably eats a lot of crap.
Well, yeah, he loves McDonald's. Eating and serving it, apparently.
Joe is saying, who would you call up from this camp? Joe,
nobody.
I'll quickly talk about it, but I think we can. That's a good question for us to address at 11 Yanks in the post game. That can be something for that content. But essentially, what we've talked about multiple times, we would have brought a U22 camp. So the best possible U22 players that we could get released. And we mentioned Diego Cochin, Pedro Soma from Barcelona, Julian Hall from the New York Red Bulls. I would honestly even have Captain Sullivan on this camp. So, but we'll probably, that's maybe Pete, write that down. That can be a good topic for us in the post game. And the last one, guys, hold the other super chats for 11 Yanks. Pete, Washington, D.C.'s politicians are essentially in another reality to us common folks, poor, middle, and even some upper class.
Yes. Anybody who thinks you have anything in common with any of our overlords is insane. None of them care about you. None of them, not one. Some of them pretend to. Some of them blatantly don't pretend to, but none of them actually care.
I think we've reached the point where they don't even pretend to anymore.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they try during election season. They're like, oh, the price of eggs. It sucks, huh? You know, they don't care.
No. But everyone, listen up. If you can, drop a like in this video. If you want to, this is the new channel that I started there to cover Brazilian soccer in English. It's not going to have a lot of videos. It's going to be one a month. But go check it out if you want to. The link is pinned right there in the chat. We're somehow close to 1,000 subscribers, which is not bad. And probably the latest video, the Premier League one, is something that might interest a lot of you. A lot of good information. And pretty much that's all. Hit the like button in the stream if you haven't already. And Pete, ready to go? Wait,
yes.
goal. Before we
have
go,
a goal from Caden Clark to talk about. Nicely done. Good finish.
Oh,
Caden.
Good left-footed finish.
Good finish, Caden Clark.
Remember there was a time where Caden would only score bangers in MLS?
Yeah, I remember that when he was with the Red Bulls.
Yeah.
We both had him on our channels. I'm happy for the kid. Hopefully he can have another good season in Montreal.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys at the post game.
See you soon. Hey, everyone, let's go to 11 Yanks for the post game right now. There's no reason to be here. Make sure you go subscribe and check out Chapéu Football. The link is pinned right there in the chat. It's our new channel covering Brazilian soccer in English, but it's more of like these broad history, information, detailed videos. So you might enjoy it, especially the one with the what's going on thumbnail. That might be something you guys like. Drop a like before you go. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let's go to 11 Yanks for the post game. The game's pretty much over. The U.S. has a 2-0 lead. A beautiful goal from Caden Clark. And I'll see you guys soon at 11 Yanks. Ciao. Oh, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter, especially Instagram. Help us hit 13,000 followers on Instagram. We're very close. Ciao.